Now I'd like to just run through some of these transparent layers of a design that Florian and I made about 20 years ago in London in an apartment, and to just review how this might play out in interior topography. The site that was given this looked something like this when we arrived. It's about a 22-meter long, maybe 9-meter wide loft space in central London, and it has these large rectangular columns and beam structure marching down the center of the space. We transformed it into something that looked like something like this, with a set of large pieces of furniture that are loosely arranged between these columns. When we started, we tried to think about what could be done amongst these kind of elephantine kind of columns and this long space, and we thought perhaps it could be some kind of landscape of different levels and terraces or something. The client was interested in that. But bit by bit, we came to the idea of what Florian called a floating order, where elements would find their way in this space, but the overall space of the room is left complete, and the ceiling is complete, and the floor is continuous. So in this little sketch of Florian's, you can see that these things are on wheels, imagined to be, furniture that could move around. It's something like this, where the barges docked along the edges of the River Po are find their place amongst the static edges of the river. Or in this fantastic cistern in Istanbul, these giant columns are standing in a lake, and one could imagine boats moored up to them. So this series of elements went through a number of iterations and movements, and they finally kind of coalesced into something of this order, where in fact there's also a large grand piano, and there's some bigger piece of furniture the client has, and this is a tiny little closet for the double bed, so that the compression of this space makes the largeness of the other space even more perceivable. And this is a kind of sketches of that. And even the lamps are an array of plant-like structures in the coffers of the ceilings that are free and continuous through the whole space. And so the plan ended up like this. These are now all fixed elements, but they are somehow moored up against almost touching these columns in a almost difficult way. This is a fixed table that is cut out to engage with this column. So in the end, this top of this body is not exact, is sloping down slightly to this end that increases the perspective. You can't imperceptibly. And then we tried to keep the existing concrete ceiling and beams and columns, and the existing walls we painted in one color, and the floor in another color, and most of these elements are made out of this laminated wood.